Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. It's the 24th day of February 2023. Happy Friday. I hope you're all safe and healthy today, and that your family is safe and healthy, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food and shelter and clothing as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are trying and doing the saving of lives. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and parks clean. And those also that make deliveries of food and water and things like mail for our convenience. Double blessings upon the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The victims also pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on the profiteers, and double curses on the perverts who are out here trafficking and creating this disgusting industry. Finally, blessings upon the homeless, nearly 600,000 men, women, and mostly children in the United States living on the streets, millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So, finally, there's a basketball game scheduled for tonight. The New York Knicks will be playing the Washington Wizards in Washington, D.C. The Knicks and the Wizards, I believe, have split their season series. We beat the Wizards in Washington, and they beat the Knicks in the Garden. And now tonight's game is in Washington. Now, it's a different team that the Washington Wizards are going to play, and it's a different team that the Knicks are going to play. So, in terms of Washington, the last time we played them, we did not have Mitchell Robinson, and we did not have Josh Hart. This time we do. The last time we played the Washington Wizards, they had just got back Bradley Beal, and they had Kristaps Porzingis, but Beal wasn't as big a factor in that game. I think it was his first game back. And since then, they have won. They were 6-4 in their last 10 and won their last two in a row. They're starting to click. The Kuzma, Porzingis, Beal trio is starting to click. They use Daniel Gafford at the five sometimes. Sometimes they use KP, obviously. They bring in Dede Abdiva. They got Corey Kispert. They got a mix of young players and veterans. Kuzma is playing for his next contract, so he is always going to be high and up. Right now, Washington sits a game and a half, actually 2 games and a half above Chicago, and they're in the 10th spot in the play-in. And so they're going to be trying to move up. Toronto, who is 7-3 in their last 10, since they got Podol, they really been turning it around. They were doing it before Podol, but since Podol came, they really, I watched some of their game last night. They're looking really tough with Podol. I thought all they would need is a 5. They got the 5, and they're really looking tough. So they're still not a great 3-point shooting team, but you can't stop them from getting the mid-range and getting into the basket. They're very, very good at that. So those two teams, like I said, I expect Atlanta to sink and those two teams to rise. So you have Washington tonight in D.C., as I mentioned. Kuzma playing for his next contract. KP playing for his next contract, because even though KP has one more year left, I think $33 million on his deal, he can opt out this summer and get a longer term deal. And so players like to do that, because the reason they do is because they're guaranteeing themselves more money. See, so even if he was to get, let's say, a 3-year, $100 million contract, right now he's got another 1 year, $33 million. See, so if whatever he gets more than that over the next couple of seasons, he's going to be benefiting. So he's playing for his next contract. Beal got his money, but Beal is just, he's like Dame Dollar. He's a great player in a poor organization as far as performance. I mean, not poor, I can't say, because Portland is not a poor organization either. They just can't get over the top of some of the better teams. And the same with Washington. Washington has been struggling for a minute now. So this is going to be an important game for them. It's an important game for the Knicks, who are also 6-4 in their last 10, and who have won 3 straight before the All-Star break. And then now again, you have the return of Mitchell Robinson. You have the addition of Josh Hart to Mobb Deep. This is going to be quite a game. I expect it to be another nail biter. I mean, the last time we played them in Washington, I think we won by 4 points. I think it was 112-108, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a nail biter, a tough game down to the end. I expect that to be the case tonight. It's going to be a difficult game. The Knicks, they have more than enough to pull it out, but of course the Wizards can beat us, having spanked us pretty well at the Garden. But like I said, that was without Mitchell Robinson at that time. Now, I think the Knicks are in much better shape. So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. I'm expecting a tight game. I'm hoping the Knicks can pull this out. I'm glad it's not in the Garden. I'm glad it's in Washington. I mean, the Knicks have been, in all fairness, the Knicks have been playing better at the Garden recently. They have been playing better at the Garden recently. But they're really a good team on the road. I mean, shoot, they're really good on the road, the New York Knicks. So here we are, Washington, D.C. Now, this is the thing. Game tonight against the Wizards. Game tomorrow night against the Pelicans. Now, I watched the Pelicans last night, and there's another team I can't figure out. I mean, yes, they're missing Zion Williamson, but they're well coached. You look at their squad, and you're like, man, I mean, even without Zion, they're a really good team. But, they can't. Last night, I watched them play Toronto. Toronto could not hit the broadside of a barn as far as the three-point line. And New Orleans had, they have a defensive unit. They got Valanciunas in the middle, right? They got Herbert Jones, who is also a really good defender. They got a real steal from him, getting him out of Alabama. They got C.J. McCollum. Brandon Ingram was playing last night, and they're playing at a high level. Trey Murphy III. I mean, they just picked up Josh Richardson. They got Jose Alvarado. I don't know what's going on with them. But right now, they're 8th in the West, so they're in the play-in. But I think it's maybe the missing of Zion. Because if you get Zion in there, that takes them to obviously another level. But Zion's having problems. He has setbacks with his hamstring. So I don't know what's going on with New Orleans, but they're like dangerous. You can't take them lightly. So I watched the game last night between Toronto and New Orleans. And Toronto, was getting pretty much what they wanted inside. I mean, the New Orleans Pelicans couldn't do nothing even with Valanciunas in there. Couldn't do nothing with him. And maybe because they was on the road, maybe they was tired because they were missing a lot of easy layups. But they just, I don't know. So I guess what I'm saying is New Orleans might be vulnerable. Not that the Knicks could take them lightly, but they might be vulnerable. So even though this is a back-to-back, this is a good opportunity, especially if the Knicks could win tonight. If they could win tonight in Washington, that might set the stage for a win tomorrow night also at the Garden. It's not that far away from Washington, D.C. to MSG, so it's not like they got to travel all over the place. But still, like last I was looking at this, okay, so Ingram had 36. McCollum had 23 last night. But Ingram had 6 turnovers. Ingram was 5 of 7 from the three-point line. 7 boards. I don't know. I don't know how you lose this game. And they have such a nice team. I mean, really, as I'm looking at, like I said, Valanciunas, McCollum, Josh Richardson, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Larry Nance Jr., Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy III. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's just missing Zion. But I would think they'd have enough outside Zion to win. But last night, Apollo started 21 points, 18 boards. See, that's the difference maker. Watch Toronto. They're coming. We got to be ready. They're coming from the rear. Toronto's coming from the rear, man. All of the teams that's in the play-on right now, they got a problem. Washington, what you call it, Atlanta, Miami, they got a problem because Toronto's coming. I'm telling you, they're really coming. Last night they have what 5 players in double figures. They're playing, they're playing high level Toronto basketball. Nurse is a really good coach, and he got them playing. They just needed a 5. Now they got him. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be tough. So it's like I said, we're at the stage of the season where every single game is important. Every game is important. For example, again, last night, Cleveland lost to Denver. Why do we care about that? Cleveland right now is in the 4th seed, right? Cleveland loses to Denver. That's a half game we all picked up right there on Cleveland. Okay, so like I said, every game is important. Last night, the Boston Celtics beat Indiana. Last night, Philly came back to beat Memphis. Philly needed that game. Again, Philly's in the 3rd seed. Okay, every game is important now. So tonight against Washington, the Knicks need this win, and it needs it to set up a situation where they can really get to this weekend and beat New Orleans. New Orleans, like I said, they looked a step slow. And this is coming from the All-Star break. So it's not like they've been on the road the whole time. They just looked a step slow, but you can't sleep on them. They're also, like I said, they're in the AC right now. They're trying to move up they're right now about, what is it, a game and a half out of the 6th seed. Dallas Mavericks is a game and a half ahead of them. Minnesota's a half game ahead of them in the playoff hunt. Minnesota's in the 7th seed. So dogfight on both sides. This is a very exciting part of the NBA season. Very exciting part. Every game is important, okay? Every game. So let's hope the Knicks. They got Mitch Robb listed as questionable, but from what I've been reading, he's been taking in full practice. Questionable for Friday's game. Evan Fournier's out. Okay, but the Mitch Robb is questionable, so I don't know if he's gonna play, start, come off the bench. I don't know, but I hope he plays. If he does, we're in good shape. So we'll see. Maybe they bring him back tomorrow. I don't know, but he's been running in practice. They said full contact, full drills, no setbacks. So I'm thinking that they'll be all right. So we're gonna see what happens with that tonight. But yeah, here we go, baby. Nitty gritty time, really grinded out time, playoff stretch run time. Let's do this. All right. So I think here we go. We're going to see what happens. Y'all enjoy it. I'm probably going to see, this game, shoot, I may not see this game. I may see it tomorrow night, but I may not see it till Sunday, the game from tonight. Because tomorrow night at 7:30 is the Pelicans. I'll probably watch this game, in a condensed version, maybe at 6:30 tomorrow, and then catch the Pelicans game after that. And then we'll talk about it Sunday. Yeah, we're probably going to do a live podcast on Sunday, and at some point, I'm not sure what time yet, but we'll catch it. Anyway, y'all enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there. Enjoy your Friday. So